And of course, Madam Mandela Kuwor, she is one of the potential women in Liberian politics, the political leader of a political party, as a matter of fact. And she is, most importantly, she is the senior political advisor to His Excellency President Joseph Imam. Why are they here? Specifically, Madam Kuwor will be speaking to something very important that brought us on Liberia's bid for the non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. Now, I have to say that the campaign for that bid has since been launched by the government of Liberia. It was launched internationally, it was launched locally, but of course, it entails a lot of things to make it happen. We are going on opposed, but we need to obtain a required number of votes to get the seat. So some of you who've been following the dean of the president's cabinet, the foreign minister, she's been moving from country to country, making the case for Liberia to earn the support of member states of the United Nations to get the seat. And so, Madam Mandela Kuwor, who is the political advisor to His Excellency's senior political advisor to the Excellency President Kuwor, she's here to speak on a fundraiser that has been organized to support the event. And so when she mounts the podium, she'll be speaking about the fundraiser, and she will also speak to other issues surrounding Liberia's bid for non-permanent seat for the UN Security Council. Our other distinguished guests from the National Food Assistance Agency, Mr. Bwaka Salih, will speak on some of the initiatives that the agency has been involved in. Of course, the National Food Assistance Agency, not a lot is known about it. And like other entities in government, that were not very proactive, not much was known about them. His entity, the National Food Assistance Agency, is trying to revive it. So they are here to speak to some of the initiatives that they have embarked upon. He will go in details. The company, of course, by team of senior managers from the entity. When he mounts the podium, he will do the proper introduction that is needed. As a country, we have a history. History that points to our deadly past, and efforts are being made by the government to bring to a closure the experience that we had as a country during the Civil War. The President last year constituted the Office of the War and Economic Crimes Court. That office was created through an executive order. The executive order has the validity of a year. And so the President, in his wisdom, has officially renewed Executive Order number 131, now Executive Order number 148. And this Executive Order basically reaffirms the Bwaka's administration commitment to the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court for Liberia. This renewal ensures the continued operation of the office for the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court, which of course, like I stated, was created on May 2nd, 2024. And the function, the duty of that office is to spearhead the process of justice and reconciliation for atrocities committed during Liberia's civil war. Of course, the renewal comes in the wake of calls from local and international human rights organizations urging the government of Liberia to maintain the momentum in addressing the legacy of abuse. The Office for War and Economic, under the leadership of Executive Director Chancellor Jala A. Babu, has been instrumental in laying the groundwork for the court's establishment, despite facing challenges such as funding constraints and administrative issues. The renewed executive order reinforces the establishment of the Office for War and Economic Crime Court with responsibility to include conducting comprehensive research and consultation to design model for special war crimes court that aligns with international standards, drafting legislation for the establishment of a national anti-corruption court to address corruption cases linked to the Civil War and subsequent periods, engage with international partners to secure funding and technical assistance necessary for the court's establishment operations. Scope, jurisdiction, and operational framework of the proposed court. The President's decision to renew Executive Order number 131, now Executive Order number 1448, underscores his administration's dedication to upholding the rule of law and addressing past injustices, thereby ending the culture of impunity in Liberia. The government acknowledges the importance of transparency and adequate sourcing and international collaboration in successfully establishing the War and Economic Crimes Court for Liberia. Following the release of the executive order, one of our very important international partners with long historical ties with our country, the U.S., the United States of America, they issue a statement. What did it say? The U.S. Embassy supports President Waga's decision to renew the mandate of the Office of the War and Economic Crimes Court. The office can now continue its work to bring long overdue justice to Liberia and end the culture of impunity that will make a decided contribution to Liberia's long-term prosperity and stability, unquote. That was a statement issued by the U.S. Embassy in Monroe. So they are following, and their statement in response to the President's action clearly testify that they too are interested, they are a partner to Liberia interested in the progress of our country. The WIAC Liberia has commenced the conduct of examinations, and we'll talk to throw light on it because it's very important. Something new is happening. The National Office of the West African Examination Council, WIAC, on Monday, April 28, 2025, commenced the conduct of 8 school candidates examination in Liberia. The exercise began with the conduct of the junior high school certificate examination on Monday and Tuesday, that is April 28th to 29. 53,562 ninth graders from junior high schools across the country are expected to write the exam at 396 centers, while 47,008 sixth graders from primary schools across the country will write the primary school certificate examination at 397 centers on Wednesdays and Thursdays, April 30th and May 1st, respectively. The Liberia National Assessment Test will be administered to 35,002 third graders across the country on Friday, May 2nd. That test will be administered on the various campuses. The conduct of the West African Senior Certificate Examination (WAS) will be administered to 53,140 12th graders across the country at 377 centers from Thursday, May 15, 2025 to Tuesday, June 10, 2025. The head of National Office of WIAC Liberia, Mr. Woto, has called on candidates and school authorities to ensure acts to avoid acts of examination malpractices during and after the conduct of this exam. Just lastly, before we talk to invite Madam Madila Kuwor to the podium, while the press conference the other day, somebody asked who the police invited Prophet Key for alleged act of forgery with the neck, why they haven't invited Mr. Kuwor. And the response to that question was that the university administration was conducting their own investigation. That investigation has concluded, and the authority at the university has moved to act by dismissing employees who facilitated academic fraud. So the University of Liberia has now named those dismissed in relation to the Kuwor fake graduation situation. They include Mr. Arthur B. Sharp, Chairman, Public Administration Department, Mr. Troson Louis, Instructor and Cleaning Officer, Department of Public Administration, Mr. Gofa K. Swa, Coordinator and Teaching Assistant, Dean's Representative on the Clearing Team, Public Administration Department, Mr. W. Rams Rami, Deputy Registrar, Office of Enrollment Services. Others dismissed include Mr. Sakra K. H. Pa, Assistant Dean of Records and Registration, Mr. Foley Jaliba, Office Assistant to the Dean of Records, Mr. Jeniton Kanga, Support Specialist, Office of Information Technology. The U has also suspended Mr. Aaron B. Simley, Second Associate Vice President and Registrar, respectively. The university has reinstated, meanwhile, Ms. Nancy Quickly, Data Entry Clerk, Business House, Mr. Augustine Z. Kapi, Coordinator, Business House. The decision comes after a full month of investigation of acts related to several instances of alleged academic fraud and misconduct at the University of Liberia, including the case that has been referred to in the listing as Mr. Kuwor as well in other cases. So the university has acted. The doubt can now be clarified. That is why when these things happen, we have to give the authorities in charge a chance to do their work. So we commend the University of Liberia for taking such an action, because we do believe there should be no room for fraudulent activities anywhere in academic institutions. That being said, I was in flag when our distinguished minister arrived and the other day his presence. Honorable Fia, you are welcome. I will now stand on existing protocol to invite to the podium the President's senior political advisor, Madam Adele Kuwor.
Good morning, everyone, members of the press. I want Minister Pia for granting me this opportunity, and to Daniel Seno, and to all of the staff of the Ministry of the Nation. It's good to be here again with all of you. This is, as Minister Sanders said, it's not my first time. Been here previously when I was here to announce the first National Investment Conference in Liberia. And I'm back here again this morning with you to publicly announce or present some information upcoming event that is critical to our country, to our administration. As Mr. Samuel said, Liberia is currently campaigning for a seat on the United Nations Security Council, a non-permanent member seat. And with that, we're looking for votes. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs have been leading the charts on this. They have been going around the world to solicit votes. Liberia needs about 125 votes to secure the seat. And having that seat would be a great privilege for Liberia. It would be a platform for Liberia to be on the international and world stage. This makes Liberia a more desirable country for negotiation, because Liberia will be making decisions around critical global issues like peace and security, the world's economy, and what happens at the United Nations. So this is a great, great opportunity for Liberia, and I know all of you also are in the know that Liberia was a signatory to the establishment of the United Nations. And since we have had a seat, but that seat was sort of a rotational seat, so it wasn't what we're looking for now. This will give us a better platform than previously. And you also know that Liberia represented the first female president of the General Assembly, which was Madam Angie Brooks. And so Liberia has played a critical role. Now, this is a Ministry of Foreign Affairs activity. You're wondering why Adele Cooper, the President's political advisor, senior political advisor, will be involved with this. The campaign team, who have been doing a fantastic job under the leadership of Sarah Besslow, Minister Sarah Besslow, EMT, and with all of the former foreign ministers have been advisors on a committee, a steering committee advising this activity. I came on board to serve or to support the fundraising activities, because all of these things require funding, requires resources. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs have been doing a fantastic job going across the world, meeting with various head of states, asking and soliciting their support. And it is our duty here at home to make sure we support their effort. Because this is, again, I always say, this is not a party thing. This is not an administration thing. This is a Liberia thing. When Liberia wins, we all win, no matter what party or institution or affiliation you are with. And this is why I came on board to support the fundraising effort. I was challenged to raise $1 million to support the effort. And also not just the campaign team movement across the world to solicit support or votes, but also at the end of May, there will be a closing campaign, I don't want to say campaign rally, but for the lack of better description, or as we say in the PR world, better descript, for the lack of better description, I would say a campaign finale event in New York, which is slated for May 28th. That's going to take place in New York. And then on June 2nd, June 2nd will be their voting day. We need to secure 125 votes. We are very close. Liberia is very, very close. to obtain 125 votes, but we're not going to just stop at getting 125 votes and sit down and say, okay, everything is over. And then on election day, we realize, oh, that person didn't show up to vote, then we lose. We are going to go above 125 votes. And so raising these funds to support our campaign team, to support the campaign finale, and to make sure all of our votes are secured on June 2nd, we need to raise some money. And so we brought this to the public, to everyone who considers themselves a well-meaning Liberian. Whether you're a Liberian or not, whether you're outside the diaspora or you're here at home, we're asking for your support. Many of the ministers, the cabinet members, friends of Liberia, the business community have contributed what they can to the event. The event is slated for this Saturday, May 3rd at 5 p.m. We'll be gathered at the Executive Pavilion. His Excellency, the President of the Great Republic of Liberia, will be present. He is the host of the evening. We look forward to having everyone there. We reached out to Madame Sirleaf. We reached out to former President Weah. We reached out to everyone. Invitations went out to everyone. And so we're not discriminating on who we're reaching out to. This is a Liberia thing. This is not a partisan thing. This is not an administration thing. This is a Liberia thing. So we're inviting everyone. And of course, the event on Saturday, tickets are $500 per person. But because we understand everyone has a different economic status and everyone cannot afford the $500 per person, we have created discounted tickets or junior tickets. And we even have student tickets. The students called from LU and said, Madam Cooper, we want to be a part of this, but we get not a full $500. Oma, we got it, $25, we'll pay out $25 for that party. I said, my children, you'll come. You'll come. So there will be a ton of students from various universities present in the room. And I told them to bring their student IDs. If you want those cheap tickets, you got to bring your student IDs. It's only for students. But I just told Minister Pia he's paying $500 for his ticket. And as a matter of fact, he's paying $5,000 for his ticket for his entire ministry. And so, yes, thank you. Thank you, Minister Pia. Thank you. Look at my team, they're all excited. They're so table to the minister. And of course, a member of the press, you're all welcome as well. I know you mentioned Press Secretary reached out to all of you to be there. We want you guys to support. This is a Liberia thing. When Liberia wins, we all win. That's the motto. So we're encouraging everyone to come out. I'm sure many of you have a lot of questions for me. I'm sure there'll be a Q&A session. But again, I want to thank the Minister Pia and Deputy Minister Sando for having me over here today. Me and my team are here. And we look forward to having a successful fundraiser on Saturday. And after Saturday, we plan to put a table out by the Invisible Park for the Oma who said they won't get small, they think, but they get that kind of money. That people, when they get it, they walk out over there, they put a small, they add the inside. We will have a table for them at the Invisible Park for our Oma, our beginner, even our motorcycle rider there. We can't put a small thing there. So nothing is too small to contribute to the success of our nation. This is the one country we all have in common. This is the one place we all call home. And so it is important that all of us who call